Hiya, Martin here. Thank you for joining me for this week's turning project video. I hope you're all well and have had super creative weeks and weekends in your workshops. Big thank you to everybody who has commented on bound number 1. It seems to have split the jury, as it were. A lot of people really like it with the V shape and the leather binding. Other people haven't liked it because the V shape is too uniform, and so there's a really interesting feedback on that, so thank you very much for all of your comments. This week we're going to have a look at bound number 2, which is similar but, as you can see, very different. Following on from the comments, especially Gil Grace, Lou Jacobs and Scott at I think it's Woodturning, they said they suggested perhaps doing something with a natural edge, or finding something with a natural split, or antiquing it a little bit, and Scott in particular suggested the copper. So I haven't got anything natural edge with a split in it, so what I thought I would do on this 9-inch dish is turn it normally, texture the hell out of it, and then set it on fire, which is pretty much what I did, and then do the holes and the copper wire. I haven't filmed the actual turning of the piece, just the texturing, the burning, the little bit of colour that's on there just to add a bit to the antique-y feel and look of it, and of course the copper wire. So I hope you enjoy this week's video. Let me know what you think. Which one do you prefer, bound number 1 or bound number 2? I'll be really interested to hear what you think. Please do like, share and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and if you feel like it, then please do leave a comment. I'd love to know what you think of this particular project. It was good fun to turn, 9-inch sycamore, textured, burnt, and then bound with copper wire. So here we go with bound number 2. I've got the 9-inch piece of sycamore on the lathe, and I've already turned the inside and the outside, and as you can probably see, I've got a slightly different shape to normal, which is really nice. And before I go and cut the shape in, which is going to be bound with the copper, I want to put a whole load of really messy, horrible texture around the rim to make the whole piece kind of look like it's been burnt, but you'll see the burning in a bit. So I've got the Dremel. I've got the Dremel with quite a large bit in it, and I'm literally just going to hack it, much the same as I did with Aztec Angst a few months ago. I'm just going to really deeply texture the outside to make it look like it's come out of a fire. So let's get started. I got in trouble last time I did this for not wearing goggles, so I'll put my goggles on. There we go. I think you can see there now that the rim is well and truly mullered, which is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want to have any smooth surface on the rim at all, and I've even taken it a little bit over the top of the rim as well, which I think will add nicely to the final effect. Right, I'm going to take it off the lathe now and draw on the back where I want the cut to be. Now, much the same as with bound number 1, there's some nice figure in the wood. So there's the nice figure on bound number 1, and there's a nice piece here, which will be on obviously bound number 2. But for this piece I want to have a wide, starting off quite wide and then coming round the piece. So kind of like that, I think. And then after I've taken it to the bandsaw, I can then trash that as well with the Dremel, and then I can mark out the lace holes too. Right, so I'll take it up to the bandsaw, cut that out, a bit nervy, and then we can go from there. The design may change, I may take it further round, I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. Right, off to the bandsaw. As you can see, I'm back from the bandsaw and I've cut a big hole in the bowl. So I'm going to take the Dremel to it again and trash the inside of it and see what happens. Because as usual with me, I haven't got a clue. Now I've trashed the outside, or rather now I've trashed the inside of the cut, I'm going to mark off where I want the holes to be for the wire. And I've got a load of copper wire here which I'm going to use, and I just want to mark off fairly roughly every 5mm. But I need to count how many holes I've got so I can match the number of holes on this side. 1, 2, 3, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is going to be interesting. I've got 19 holes this side, and now I need to get 19 holes that side. So 1, 2, 3. They're not absolutely the same distance apart on each side, but I'm not worried about that. So because I think they're nice and close together anyway, I don't think the fact that they're not absolutely together is going to be too much of a problem. So I'm going to take the point tool like I did with the other piece, bound number 1, and just mark off, just make a tiny little sort of pilot hole, as it were, for the drill bit to go into as I drill the hole. Like that. Right, and then I'm going to drill them out, but you don't need to see that. So I'll drill out these holes and then get it back on the lathe and then get the blowtorch to it. I've drilled the holes where I want them to be, and there's 16 on each side, not 19, because they didn't quite go how I wanted them to. But never mind, as I said, I'm not overly concerned. And I have the blowtorch, so I'm going to light the blowtorch. And it's really important when you're using a blowtorch to make sure that you've dusted your lathe bed down. And now I'm going to burn all around the piece. There. Okay, I might have set fire to it. Now I've finished burning, I'm going to burnish off the... I'm going to very carefully burnish the piece. Yeah, that looks good. I'm happy with that. And now I'm going to add some colour. Find the rosewood. I like the rosewood colour because it's nice and earthy and not too dissimilar to a bit of burning. So I'm going to spin the lathe and then just put in a little bit of the rosewood. Just to give it just a hint of additional colour. Just like that. And a bit on the back as well. I'm just making sure that I get into all the little marks left by the Dremel. And I think I'll go over with a little bit of black as well, without cleaning the brush. There, I think that looks pretty good to me. Right, I'm going to clean up the brush, dry it off, and then apply some oil. I said I was going to put some oil on it, but I'm not. I'm going to go straight in with acrylic sanding sealer. Oh, that's quite a lot of sanding sealer. So I'm going to put the sanding sealer on. Now, because there's still quite a lot of warmth in the wood, that has actually gone off already. and I don't want to I don't want to spin it anymore, so I'm going to just rub that back a bit with 0000 wire wool, and then apply Hampshire sheen. Lock the lathe. Now I'm not going to put Hampshire sheen on the rim. I'm just going to put it on the inside and up to the rim. Right, and I'll leave that to dry, and I'll do the outside. And when Hampshire sheen is dry, I'm just going to take a drill and a buffing pad to it, just to buff it up a bit. I don't want it too glossy. Right, and now I can put the lace in. So I've got the copper wire, and some of the holes are where I burnt it are looking a bit flimsy, so I've got to be really careful when I'm bending this stuff round. And I think I'm going to start at the bottom. Do I have to go in that way? Yeah, in that way. So I'm just going to bend it round at the back so it sits quite nicely. Right, so in there, miss one, this is going to be fun, I can tell. Up, miss one, in there. Finally, I've finished the binding with the copper. I had to change the copper because I didn't have enough, so I had to pull it all out and cut some more shinier stuff, which I've done. And now all I need to do is trim off the end, like so, and then push it down into the gap. And then just push it in like that. And then bound number 2 is finished. Yeah. And there we are. Here is bound number 2 finished. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the process. I think the piece looks as I intended, old, antique-y, burnt obviously, and then bound up with the copper. I think it's a much nicer piece than bound number 1. And I've got to thank Gil, Lou and Scott again for their comments on bound number 1, which inspired bound number 2. Thanks very much indeed for watching. I hope you enjoyed the project. That's it for this week. I will see you again on Friday for Turner's Journey episode 31. And if you haven't done so already, please do like, share and subscribe. And if you wish to, please do leave a comment. I always get back to you. It might take me a couple of weeks, but I will reply. Thanks very much indeed, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.